Hi there, fight fans. My name is Kian Lang, and I'm very happy to say that I'm today joined by Mr. Pedro Carvalho ahead of his WNC world title fight. Pedro, first of all, thank you very much for joining me again, man. How are we doing today, brother?
We're doing great. You're doing great. Fighting life. It's good life. And once again, thank you for the invite. It's always great catching up.
Well, thank you for joining me. And I mean, looking ahead to this one, first things first, how is camp going for you? How has this process gone for you so far?
Yeah, camp is being great. Camping is being amazing so far. Of course, any camp that has no injuries is great. But yeah, but I'm happy to to be back. Even though I never went anywhere, but it's been basically a year away from fighting, and in a way, it was very good for me because I was able to find again their passion and find again their desire for fighting. Not I always wanted to fight, but one thing is just you are just checking the point, like you go to your work and you're just checking in. Other thing is just you do it because you want it, and it's been amazing so far. It's been amazing, and I'm really looking forward just to fucking passing these 4 weeks and just getting there and having a scrap. That's all I'm looking for.
And was that a very intentional decision after your last fight to give yourself that break, allow yourself to refresh and come back remotivated, like you say?
Yeah, like to be honest, after my last two fights on PFL, which I don't know about the others, but my opinion were they were very 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 unfair. The second last fight against Brandon, it was the stoppage that everyone saw the way they were. And then the last one was against Kai Kamaka was the whole thing around was that I thought it was very unfair. They didn't treat both of us the same way. I can give you a quick example. Before we just heading in, we were waiting to be called, and then they just put a beat on the big screen of him with his fam and all thing. And I'm like, hey, he's not fighting alone. He's fighting like we are both fighting for a spot on the playoffs. We both could go, and they were just promoting him. Okay, fair enough, but I didn't felt that I was treated fairly, fair and square. And all that thing, and I didn't agree with the decision to be honest. But
Yeah.
and all that just made me really disappointed. Not with me, but because I did like what I see from me. The thing, everything that I wanted to do in that fight, I did. It was just that I was disappointed with the sport, so I kind of walked away. I didn't want to hear about fighting. I didn't want to see MMA fights. I didn't want to even see MMA videos on internet. Nothing. I just switched it off, and I enjoyed my family, enjoyed my country, enjoyed food, enjoyed living a bit. And I was even thinking about other stuff. What other stuffs will I might do, and kind of see life in a different perspective. But after like 6 months, the I start to get itchy about fighting again, and yeah, one thing leads to another. I start to look for a fight. It took a while, and then this amazing opportunity show up on the right timing. Even though we were having other conversations, but I will never have nothing lined up before October. So we were like, before we heading into another things, we get this done. Because what really matters to me right now is fighting. That's what I want, and it's a good fight. That's all I wanted to be back fighting, but I didn't want to be back against just some guy or a newcomer. I wanted to be a good fight against an experienced guy, and a fight that I know I'm gonna have a fight, a proper fight, the way I like it. And everything was lined up for this moment.
I mean, you said it exactly right, man. This is a proper fight. The WNC world title, like I said, Damien Lapilus. I mean, this just seems to me like it's going to be one of those stand and bang like wars. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, how do you look at this fight stylistically and view Damien as an opponent?
Yeah, like I see him as a very experienced opponent. You know, he's been there. He's been there all around. Even though a lot of guys around, they don't know him because he never really got the chance of getting the big stage. But he fought all around Europe on the biggest promotions, and he has tons of fights. Very technical striker. He likes to keep it technical. I like it to keep it, you know, scrappy and dirty. So it will be very interesting. It will be very interesting. I do like his style of fighting. I do think his style of fighting will match well with mine regarding my perspective of how the fight goes. But all around, I'm excited because I do know I'm gonna have a fight. I do know that I'm not gonna having someone that's gonna start try to stall the fight or try to, you know, get a less shortcut around grabbing or this or that, even though they are all parts of the game, of course. But I do know that is not going to be around trying to do anti fighting game. You know, he will try to fight me, and that's the one thing that I want. And we're gonna do it for 25 minutes, which is even great for me. It's great because, you know, as the fight goes, I'll put fourth gear, fifth gear, and I go on and on. So 25 minutes for me will be an amazing opportunity for me to showcase what I've been doing this past year, and just go out there and pour everything out, empty the gas tank, and be happy about it.
I mean, it's difficult for you to empty the gas tank, man. You got a
Yeah.
crazy cardio on you. I mean, how much of that is down to the work that you do with SPG over in Ireland? And I mean, can you talk a bit about that incredible team that you guys have down there?
Oh man, the team, like, there's no words for the team here because I always saw SPG as really. I know it's very cliche saying this, but it really is like a family because I at the time I was just a 21 year boy that changed his life from Portugal to Ireland. You know, just bought me and my wife bought a one-way ticket here, and, you know, let's put everything on the line. And from day one, I was received here like one of them. You know, I like, even though I embraced the country like mine, I embraced everything the country had it like mine. But I from day one I received the other way back. You know, everyone received me, everyone supported me, and it's been amazing. And it's like I say this with very proud that, you know, here in Ireland they nicknamed me like the adopted son, and I hear when I hear that it gives me like full pride of hearing that, you know, because it's not often that you see someone from another country comes and gets this type of treatment, and so for me, my experience, my personal experience, after all these years, it's been amazing. But talking about team wise, it's great because you can see we have so many names, and especially on featherweight and lightweight division, that were like we are packed of killers in the mats. So yeah, to be honest, day in day in, it's the best guys out there. They're gonna pull you, you know, put you on the hardest situations, and that's what exactly what you need as a fighter. You need to be constantly tested, constantly out of your comfort zone, and once you have that, you know, you have a great team, and I do have a great team here.
That's great to hear, man. I've got to say as well, I think a large part of the reason you've been received so well and taken in, like you say, like an adopted son, is due to, you know, your story and the work that you've put in. I think everyone respects hard work, and I mean, there's no story better than yours. Do you ever get that chance to sort of think back to those times when, you know, you're doing the shifts in the hospital and everything like that, and think to where you are now on the precipice of winning a world title? Some of the fights you've had are just incredible. I mean, do you get that chance to take the step back and appreciate the journey?
I actually, because I am during my 20s, and I learned now that I just turned 30 now on June. And one of the things that I did learn with life was appreciate what we have and what we achieved, even though we might be very, demanding. Of course, I'm always was the most demanding person with myself. I have my goals and I want to conquer them, and for me, I'm far, far away from the things I still want to achieve and all that. But I learned to be, you know, having gratitude and be proud of what I already have, because I was a Portuguese kid coming from a small town. There's, in Portugal, there's no MMA. Now it starts to come, but at my time, there was no MMA in Portugal, such thing, There was no future about MMA. But I never heard those words in my head. But in my head, I would make it. I don't know how. I used to say this. I didn't know how, but I would make it. And all the way to, like you said, being Tala, cleaning toilets, keep working, keep grafting and getting in there. Yes, sometimes I do look back and to be honest, the reason that I'm here talking to you right now and having this fight is because of that. Because during those 6 months that I was away, sometimes with the itchy when I start to have misgivings about fighting and everyone. I used to see my fights back then when I was 22 and I was starting to do my climb, and I used to see those fights and I'm like, fuck, I'm proud of that kid. I'm proud of that kid. He fucking he worked his ass off. He had nothing behind him, and he still made it. And after a while, I was like, "Fuck!" But like right now, I'm 30 times better than that kid. My skill set right now are much better. My fight IQ is much better. And besides, I am that kid. You know what I mean? So if he can do it, fuck him. If he did all that on his 20s, I'm fucking out exceeding him on my 30s. And after that, I just became like fucking. That's it. I'm on. I'm on the ball. And that's when I went to the gym. I was like, that's it. I'm gonna make my comeback. And I never went. I never looked back. And here we are talking. Because I just got on this thing, and thanks for him, for my old me. But yeah, but it was just an eye opener, and that's pretty much answer your question there, because of that feeling of like kind of initially was there kind of proud feeling of what I see, but then it was a kind of an eye opener that is like, bro, that kid didn't have half of what you have right now, and he still went out there and he did it. So if he did it, you can do it way better. And I was just like, yeah, fuck him. And I'm just gonna, I'll do it, man. And no, the rest is story, like I say.
I love that, man. That's such a cool perspective of looking on it. I think a lot of people can learn a lot from that. So I love that. And I
Hopefully.
mean, I've just got one final question for you, brother. And again, I mean, a massive, massive thank you. I really appreciate your time today. Have you got a final prediction for how this upcoming fight is gonna go for you?
Well, you know, I do fancy, and I do fancy like wars. So I'm expecting a 25 minutes, but I see myself, finishing him somewhere in the second round. Maybe first, but my guts are pointing to the second. I don't like to say knockout or submission because I can do both. But I do see a finish in the second round.
Oh, Pedro, I can't wait to see you back inside the cage, brother. Thank you for your time. And I mean,
Thank,
best of luck out there and enjoy the rest of your week, brother. Thank you.
thank you for the invitation. Let's go.